प्रभु जी।
हे कृष्ण रेवती माता जी ने प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्ण सुरेखा माता जी ने प्रणाम माता जी।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, प्रणाम प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्ण माता जी ने प्रणाम। Right, so we are live now. Let us start. Hare Krishna to all the devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances and Dandavat pranam. I invite you to the early morning short Bhagavatam class organized by Radha Govinda Temple, Kulai, Mangaluru of ISKCON. I indeed invite you for and on behalf of His Grace Sri Ramanista Das Prabhuji. We shall begin with our prayers. Prayers are very important, and I am sure you will also recite your prayers along with me. Please keep your mute button on when you are reciting your prayers. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। Wonderful. I'm sorry. श्रीचैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरि प्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे प्लीज फॉलो मी ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
ओम नमो
नमो भगवते
भगवते
वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
ओम
ओम नमो
नमो
भगवते
भगवते
वासुदेवाय।
वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
ओम
ओम नमो
नमो
भगवते
भगवते
वासुदेवाय।
वासुदेवाय।
नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमम्
नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमम्।
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये।
शृण्वतां सुखतः कृष्णः पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनः
शृण्वता
शृण्वतां कृष्णः
स्वगता कृष्णः
पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनः
पुण्यकीर्तनः श्रवणकीर्तनः।
हृदयन्तस्तूयभद्राणि विदुनोति सुरसताम्
वदन्तस्तो भद्राणि विधुनोति सुहृत्।
नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया
नष्टप्रायेषु
आयुषभद्रेषु भागवत सेवया
भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी
भगवती
भगवती
उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति।
भवति नैष्टिकी।
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Prescribed Duties for Mankind, Chapter 14, Chapter 14, King Chitraketu's Lamentation. We are starting with verse 13. Up to 16 there are no purports, so we'll be able to sail through them. And 17 has a purport, so we'll read 17. I would request that we'll have at least 3 or 4 people reciting one verse so that all 5 verses could be recited by some people. Natasya sampat sarva mahishyo vamalochana sarvamo bhaumasya pushcheyam abhavan priti hetavaha. चित्रा मोहिनी देवीदासी जी, हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, प्रणाम प्रभु जी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नातस्य संपदा सर्वा महिष्यो वामलोचनाः। सार्वभौमस्य भूश्चेयम् अभवन् प्रीतिहेतवः। हरे कृष्ण। थैंक यू
थैंक
प्रभु।
यू माता, थैंक यू मधुमयी कृष्ण माता जी, हरे कृष्ण माता जी।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, प्रणाम प्रभु जी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नातस्य संपदः सर्वा महिष्यो वामलोचनाः। सार्वभौमस्य भूश्चेयम् अभवन् प्रीतिहेतवः। थैंक यू प्रभु जी, हरे कृष्ण।
थैंक यू माता जी। सुब्बा राव प्रभु जी, हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। न तस्य संपदः सर्वा महिष्यो वामलोचनाः। सार्वभौमस्य भूश्चेयम् अभवन् प्रीतिहेतवः। हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी।
सुब्बा राव प्रभु जी, can you read synonyms for us?
Definitely प्रभु जी, thank you very much.
Go ahead प्रभु जी।
Synonyms: na, not; tasya, of him, Chitraketu; sampada, the great opulences; sarva, all; mahishyaha, the queens; vamalochana, having very attractive eyes; sarvabhaumasya, of the emperor; bhu, land; cha, also; yam, this; abhavan, were Priti Hetavaha, sources of pleasure. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you very much, Subhara Prabhuji. Translation. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His queens all had beautiful faces and attractive eyes, yet neither his opulences, his hundreds and thousands of queens, nor the lands of which he was the supreme proprietor were sources of happiness for him. Verse number 14. Tashe tu bhavanam angira bhagavan rishi lokam anucharanam tetan apagachat yadrachachaya. Venkata Narsiya Rao Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Tasyai tu bhavana manjira bhagwan rishi lokananacharantano pagacchadhyadrusyajaha. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you. Subbarao Prabhuji. Go ahead, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Tasyai bhavana manjira Bhagavan Rishihi Lokananu Charanne Tanupagachadya Druchaya. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you. Surya Prakash Rao Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandut Pranam Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanavad.
You are also a co-host. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Pranamas, I am honored. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Tasyai bhavanam Angira Bhagavan Rushihi Lokanucharan Etan Upagachat Druchaya. Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dhanyavad.
Thank you. Madhusoni Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandut Pranam.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु जी ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय तस्यै कदा तु भवनम् अंगिरा भगवान ऋषि लोकान अनुचरन् एतान उपागच्छत्य यदृक्षया. थैंक यू प्रभु जी. हरे कृष्ण.
Madhusoni Mataji, can you read synonyms for us?
श्योर प्रभु जी. थैंक यू. Tasya of him, ekada once upon a time, but bhavanam to the palace, bhavanam to the palace, angira Bhagavan very powerful, Rishi sage, Lokan planets, Anucharan traveling around, Etan this, Upagachat came, Yadrikshaya suddenly. Thank you Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Madhusoni Mataji. Translation. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Once upon a time, when the powerful sage named Angira was traveling all over the universe without engagement, by his sweet will, he came to the palace of King Chitraketu. Verse number 15. Tam pujyayitva vidvadevat pratyuthanaradivi Krutartithyapima Sida Dukha Sukhasin Samahita. Surya Prakash Rao Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. तं पूजयित्वा विधिवत् प्रत्युत्थानार्हणादिभिः कृतादित्यमुपासीदत् सुखासीनं समाहितः. हरे कृष्ण प्रभु.
Thank you. Pranandini Madhvi Devi Dasi ji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, प्रणाम प्रभु जी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। तम पूजयित्वा विधिवत् प्रत्युत्थानम् अर्हण आदिभिः कृत आतिथ्यम उपासीदत् सुखासीनं समाहितः। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, थैंक यू प्रभु जी।
Thank you. Revati Ratnangi Devi Dasi ji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, प्रणाम प्रभु जी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। तं पूजयित्वा विधिव प्रत्युरदानाहरण तिभिः कृतादित्यमुपासीदत् सुखासीनं समाहितः। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Thank you very much. Suramya Madhvi Devi Dasi ji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण हरे
Dandot
कृष्ण
Pranam
दंडवत
Mataji.
प्रणाम प्रभु जी। तं पूजयित्वा विधिवत् प्रत्युत्थानार्हणादिभिः कृतातिथ्यम् उपासीतत् सुखासीनं समाहितः। हरे कृष्ण।
Thank you. Mataji, can you read the synonyms for us?
Yes, yes. Tam him pujayitva, after worshipping, vidhivat, according to the rules and regulations for receiving exalted guests, pratyuthanaha, by standing from the throne, arhana adibhihi, offering worship, and so on. Krita atithyam, who was given hospitality. Upasidat, sat down near. Sukha asinam, who was seated very comfortably. Samahitaha, controlling his mind and senses. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you very much, Suramya Madhvi Mataji. Translation. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Chitraketu immediately stood up from his throne and offered him worship. He offered drinking water and eatables, and in this way performed his duty as a host to a great guest. When the rishi was seated very comfortably, the king, restraining his mind and senses, sat on the ground at the side of the rishi's feet. Verse number 16, last but one. Usha Dayanwati Devi Dasi ji. Hare Krishna Mataji, go ahead.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, प्रणाम प्रभु जी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। महर्षि तम उपासिनं प्रत्याश्रय अवनातं शितौ प्रतिपूज्य महाराजा संभाष्य इतम अब्रवीत। थैंक यू प्रभु जी। हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी।
Thank you, Mataji. Pranandini Madhvi Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। महर्षि तम उपासीनां प्रश्रय वनतं कितु प्रतिपूज्य महाराजा समाभाष्य इदम अब्रवीत। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, थैंक यू प्रभु जी।
Mataji, can you read the synonyms for us?
यस प्रभु जी, थैंक यू प्रभु जी। Synonyms: Maharishi, the great sea; Tam, unto him, the king; Upasinam, sitting near; Prasraya Avanatam, bowing in humility; Khetau, on the ground; Pratipujya, congratulating; Maharaja, O King Parikshit; Samabhasya, addressing; Idam, this; Abravit, said. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Pranandini Madhvi Mataji. Translation. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O King Parikshit, when Chitraketu bent low in his humility, was seated at the lotus feet of the great sage, the sage congratulated him for his humility and hospitality. The sage addressed him in the following words. Verse number 17, that is the last verse. पीते अनामयं स्वस्ति प्रकृतीनां तथात्मनः यथा प्रकृतिभिर्गुप्तः पुमान् राजा च सप्तभिः. उषा दयावती माता जी. Go ahead, माता जी.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी आंगिर उवाच अपि ते अनामयं स्वस्ति प्रकृतीनां तथा आत्मनः यथा प्रकृतिभिर्गुप्तः भूमान् राज च सप्तभिः.
Thank you.
प्रभुजी
सूर्य प्रकाश राव प्रभु जी. हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी अंगीरवुवाच अपि ते अनामयं स्वस्ति प्रकृतीनां तदात्मनः यथा प्रकृतिभिः गुप्ताः पुमान् राजा च सप्तभिः. हरे कृष्णा.
Thank you. मधु सोनी माता जी. माता जी, you
हरे
are muted.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभुजी अंगिरा उवाच अपि ते अनामयं स्वस्ति प्रकृतीनां तथात्मनः यथा प्रकृतिः गुप्तः पुमान् राजा च सप्तभिः. थैंक यू प्रभुजी. हरे कृष्ण.
Thank you. Subbarao प्रभु जी. Go ahead प्रभु जी.
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय अंगिरा उवाच अपि ते नामयं स्वस्ति प्रकृतीनां तथात्मनः यथा प्रकृतिभिर्गुप्तः पुमान् राजा च सप्तभिः.
Thank you प्रभु जी. रेवती रत्नांगी देवी दासी जी. हरे कृष्ण माता जी. Go ahead.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी प्रणाम प्रभु जी. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. अंगीर उवाच अभिदे अनामयं स्वस्ति प्रगीतानां तदात्मनः यथा प्रकृतिर्गुप्तः भूमान् राजस सप्तभिः. हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी. थैंक यू वेरी मच.
Thank you. रेवती रत्नांगी माता जी. Can you read synonyms for us?
Yes प्रभु जी. थैंक यू वेरी मच प्रभु जी. Angira Uvacha, the great sage Angira said, Api whether they of you anamayam, health, swasti, auspiciousness, prakritinam, of your royal elements, associates, and paraphernalia, tata, as well as atmanaha, of your own body, mind, and soul, yata, like prakriti by the elements of material nature. Guptaha, protected. Bhuman, the living being. Raja, the king. Cha, also. Sabdabihi, by 7. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you रत्नांगी माता जी. Translation. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The great sage Angira said, My dear king, I hope that your body and mind and your royal associates and paraphernalia are well. When the 7 properties of material nature, the total material energy, the ego, and the 5 objects of sense gratification are in proper order, the living entity within the material element is happy. Without these 7 elements, one cannot exist. Similarly, a king is always protected by 7 elements. His instructor, Swami or Guru, that is his spiritual master, his ministers, council of ministers, his kingdom, the people living in the kingdom, if they are not hostile to him and they are loving to him, they would certainly help him. His fort, which protects him, his treasury, which allows him to do all functions good for the people, his royal order, who gives a peace and comfort to him to rule well, and his friends, who do not play mischiefs and play corruption around. Purport. As it is quoted by Sridhar Swami in Bhagavatam commentary, Swami Amatyam Janapada Durga Dravina Sanchayaha Dando Mrityam Cha Tasat Tita Supta Sapta Prakaraya Mataha. A king is not alone. He first has his spiritual master, the supreme guide. Then comes his ministers, his kingdom, his fortification, his treasury, his system of law and order, and his friends or allies. If these seven are properly maintained, the king is happy. Similarly, as explained in Bhagavad Gita, Dehino asmin yatha dehe. The living entity, the soul, is within the material covering of Mahatattva, ego, and Panch, Panch Tanmatra. The five objects of sense gratification, when these seven are in proper order, the living entity is in mood of pleasure. Generally, when the associate of the king are quiet and obedient, the king can be happy. Therefore, the great sage Angira Rishi inquired about the king's personal health and the good fortune of the seven associates. When we inquire from the friends whether everything is well, we are concerned not only with the personal self but also with the family, his source of income, and the assistants and or servants. All of them must be well, and then a person can be happy. King, although owes the kingdom, the citizens are his fellows, possesses a family and controls them, has friends who are always under him, and all the associates work, behave, and live under him. Thus, for all practical matters, he is a supreme in the kingdom. However, this supremacy of his has to be managed very well. Management of supremacy is prevention of the mischief and prevention of all the misdeeds by all these associates with whom king is living and leading them. It's always not very easy for this purpose. The first person who is said to be important is the spiritual master, because king of all the kingdoms always works as the agent of the god. If you remember, if you have seen few of the movies of the past, king is considered to be from the sun god or the moon god, and thus he is depicted as the descendant of the gods and the demigods. King has thus been appointed in his position by the Lord Almighty, and thus he is supposed to rule the kingdom as per the sastric injunctions or injunctions and rules and regulations formed and depicted in the Vedic literature. Kings usually do not have time to study Vedas, and they are not the master of Bhagavad Dharma or the scriptures. And that's why they always have a spiritual master, which in our vernacular language we call Rajguru. And they look after the implications of rulings and rules of the king pertaining to the religious principles, sastric injunctions, and the scriptures. Whenever there is problem, king always follows the spiritual master's instructions. This is usually during the peace time when there is urgent situations, emergencies, and crises, like having a war at hand, famine at hand, or something like that. King again gets advice from the spiritual master and follows the advice. This is a true parampara by which the kingdom is being run. The Western philosophy that the politics and the religion must be completely separated is not the philosophy of Orient or the East. We believe that the kingdom originally and always belongs to the Lord, and the king or prime minister or whosoever is chosen is appointed by the Lord, and he follows the instructions and intuitions given to him by the Lord by their direct transcendental communication. And thus king always works as a link between the people of the kingdom and the Lord himself. This has one advantage, that when the proper sastric injunctions are followed, Vedic culture is followed, there is always a peace in the kingdom. The peace in the kingdom is when there is enough for everyone to go around as far as the material needs are concerned. Of course, the primary need always is the hunger, and that's why when there is enough of the food going around, the grains and the fruits and the vegetables are in abundance, people are usually happy. This can only be possible if there is very good rain, enough rain, regular rain, and regularly spreading the rain all across the kingdom. Thus you realize that there are many parameters which has to be right for rains to regulate and to get control over the production of the grains, vegetables, and fruits. This is one of the reasons why the instructions being given by the Lord is followed faithfully. Injunctions of ruling of the kingdom are also obeyed wisely, and the spiritual master is always considered to be pious and respectable in the kingdom beyond king himself. Of course, the Lord also gives benedictions in the form of all the mines for the metals and jewels and the gold and the diamonds and the pearls, etc., which again helps decorate the opulence that kingdom has. All these things are provided by nature, and nature is nothing but provision from the Lord. And that's why king and the spiritual master are very important. Srila Prabhupada in his further dissection of the whole process describes 6 other people who are also very important, and they are important. The administrative people who are looking after various departments and the branches are directly connected to the daily living of the population. And unless person sitting on the chair or sitting on the top is working hard, there won't be any success in providing good services. These are the departments run by the ministers, and they are all responsible for providing various kinds of services to the population at large, be it a health service, service for education, sanitary service, etc., etc. And that's why all the ministers should be equally faithful and good to the king, so that they are not betraying the people and pocketing things for themselves rather than providing to the people. As it goes further, the kingdom itself is very important. People who are part and parcel of the kingdom, if they themselves are not happy, they would never ever allow king to function normally. For that reason, each and every person requires respect to the king, and king gains his respect only if he is following himself as the agent of the Lord. When he starts his tyranny of his own sense gratification and his opulence being utilized only for the personal reasons, this is when he goes wrong, and then people always turn against their own king. The kingdom is always fortified in some or the other natural form, like having a river or having a mountain on one side, and the remaining part are always covered by making a fort wall. This fort wall prevents sudden, immediate surprises of enemy sitting next to your doorstep. This fort must be providing enough and good services to protect the kingdom, and that's why it's mentioned here. Is the family members of the king, who always are very, very important because they provide a peaceful platform when they are harmonious amongst themselves and allowing king to function with his duties. If these family members are fighting among themselves, they're never going to provide a peaceful palace, and without a peace, to function efficiently is extremely difficult. So also are the friends. The friends can plunder things very fast and easily and can take away many things from people where the things belong rightfully to. And so friends doesn't give them license to plunder the wealth of the kingdom. Thus, these 7 people are described to be very important, along with the law and order that has been maintained in the kingdom. So, Angira is now asking king about himself and about his surrounding. If we meet any of our old friend after some time, we always ask him, "How are you?" The moment he answers and says, "Fine, thank you," the next question is, "How is everything else?" These everything else includes these 7 people who very nicely are described here, If they are fine, then obviously the king is able to function efficiently, maintain his kingdom well, and look after his people by serving them well through his ministers. These are very important things without which the kingdom would never survive. Let us now look at something different. He also is telling about the other requirements of king being happy. And he says that the entire material energy should be coherent with the kingdom and with the king. And of course, the other areas. But when he is talking about the energy, we know that the material manifestation is produced by God's external energy or Bahirangi energy or Shakti. These external energy is responsible for the entire material manifestation, and the Tathast energy or marginal energy is responsible for the sustaining of the living entities within kingdom. When these two energies, ultimately called a material energy, is surviving very well and happy, kingdom is always happy and the king is happy. Of course, the internal energy or the Antarangi energy is not here to be involved directly to the kingdom, but is involved with the king himself. He's talking about Tanmatra, and this Tanmatra is Roop, Ras, Gandha, Sparsh, and Sabda. These are the sense objects, and they should be happily placed and functioning in the king himself for him to be happy. These are the five tanmatras which arise from each of the five Panchamahabhuta, and each of them have their demigods and their deities who look after the functioning of that particular sense object. So you require so many things for just a king to function normally. At least seven things for personal uh, king's survival, and seven paraphernalia are described here, which we just discussed. Anything that goes wrong certainly produces havoc in the king, and people do not allow bad kings to survive long. Any question, any doubt, any addition, any commentary, any queries, please go ahead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Madhuswani Mataji. Go ahead.
Yeah, Prabhuji, I really like the explanation. Like if we ask someone, so we ask how's like how are you, and then how's everything is going on. Like everybody is like okay. So it includes many things like have you eaten well, or many things. But somebody is in power, so if we are asking how's everything, means the seven things should be working fine for them. I think so. So it's like very well explained by you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. But kings are very important. So also our leaders, like prime ministers, etc., whose surrounding must be very well set for him to function peacefully. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for your revelation. Anyone else? If there are no other questions, no other commentaries, I think we just overshoot our time. वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनेक कोटि वैष्णव की जय. Thank you very much for attending the class, and all of you have a wonderful Krishna conscious day. Hare Krishna to everyone. Hare Krishna.
Krishna
Thank you,
Prabhu.
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji. Thank
Hare
you. Dhanwad pranams.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu Prabhuji. Prabhuji.
Prabhuji,
Hare
can you
Krishna.
please share this table in the group? Hare Krishna.
Sure, Mataji. We'll share it tomorrow. Sure.
Hare Krishna.
Wonderful, Prabhuji. This chart is
Bhakti
wonderful.
Mataji will share it.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Every day we learn something from Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.